My weird school free. Mrs. Roopy is Loopy. Written by Gutman. Pictures by Jim Pallot. Chapter 6. Johnny Applesauce. When we came into the library the next time, a guy with a long beard came down the ladder from the treehouse, wearing blue jean overalls. He was carrying a shovel and a big sack. He had no shoes on his feet, but he was wearing a pot on his head. He looked funny, and he looked a lot like Mrs. Roopy to me. Mrs. Roopy, why are you wearing a pot on your head? I asked. Roopy? The guy said in a funny voice. You youngs must be confusing me with some other fellow. My name is Johnny Appleseed. It's the year 1800. I travel from town to town planting apple trees most everywhere I wander. You are not Johnny Appleseed, Andrea called out. You're Mrs. Roopy. Ain't never heard of no Roopy, the guy said, making his forehead all wrinkly. Appleseed's the name. Planting apple trees is my game. This here's a darn big country, and I reckon folks are gonna need a heap of apples. No matter what we said, we couldn't convince the bearded guy with the pot on his head that he wasn't Johnny Appleseed. He read us a story about Johnny Appleseed and told us lots of stuff about apples. Did you know that folks have been eating apples for thousands of years? Johnny Appleseed told us. They should chew faster, I said, and everybody laughed. Then Johnny Appleseed took us outside and helped us plant a real apple tree near the playground. Before we went back into school, we had apples for snack. I can understand why he planted all those apple trees. I can understand why he was dressed funny. But what I don't understand is why he wore a pot on his head. That Johnny Applesauce guy was weird. When we got back to class, I told Miss Daisy all about what happened during library period. Do you still think books are boring, AJ? She asked me. Yes, I said.